Alright guys, welcome to No Young No Auld podcast. This must be episode 7 or 8 now.
It's flying now.
We're 2 men in now. As usual, make sure you're subscribed to the Let's Have It YouTube, because we'll get more episodes coming up, more content.
Aye, plenty lined up.
And we've also got an update for you for the Andy episode, Journey to Rehab. He was obviously waiting until June before he got into rehab, but he has been accepted in early. So we just want to wish Andy good luck, and we'll keep you updated with wee videos and stuff when he's in there.
Aye, perfect.
Yep. So as usual, I'm your handsome host Jonny with my co-host Craig.
How's it going?
And today's guest is Manchild. Welcome, Manchild.
Hello.
Cheers and that.
Aye.
So,
Aye.
why have you got him on? Why have you got Manchild?
Why have we got him on? So we've got him on because he gets some stories to tell us for the fact
What, a lifelong worth of stories?
a lifelong, because of Craig. My Manchild, as used to work on. Craig still talks about it this day. See if a fight breaks out, Craig goes up and goes, "Oh guys, you're like, mate, they're 5-year-olds. Stop fucking fighting with them."
Fucking fire and all that, chucking him out, dragging him out.
But I used to met on the doors.
Aye, we done the doors. So we didn't start off in the doors together, but I started off in wee pubs and bits and bobs. And what was the first time we worked together?
Mosquito, maybe,
Was
is it
Mosquito?
not?
I
I
think
can't
I
remember.
left Bamboo straight to Mosquito. And then you're the head doorman for
Aye.
as long. And what a fucking learning curve that was. A lot of do's and don'ts, I'll give you that. But
So tell us a bit about yourself then.
So I'm Manchild, aka Stuart.
Aye.
So I've been known as Manchild a long time, and up to a certain point, most folk didn't even know my actual name.
No.
But I worked in the doors for sort of 2005, roughly.
What made you start it? What made you get into it? Just money.
Well, it was a wee Christmas job over Christmas 2005.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. So me and my flatmate at the time, he was the head steward at King Tut's. And
That's a cracking shift, wasn't it?
do you know what? It was a good wee place. And then I said to him one year, I says, "Are you looking for extra bodies?" Because I could come do it. I had a full-time job in a shop. I could work
Could fill
nights.
space.
I could just
Buy extra cash.
fill a jacket, you know.
Fill a jacket.
And so it was good. We worked there for about a year. And it was up front at the time.
Oh, right,
I'm working in King Tut's. And that's all I did. I only did King Tut's. I did 1 or 2 shifts a week. Just while I worked in the shop. And eventually, I can't even remember what happened. We ended up getting moved away from there. I don't know if they changed security or whatever. But we went to. I went to Bamboo, and Jim, my flatmate, he went to Bunker. And eventually I realised I was doing more shifts in Bamboo. So I might as well gear the shop up.
Yeah.
And that was me stewarding.
What shop you're filming?
It was the Games Lock shop.
Oh, again with
Aye,
the
Oh,
Johnny
game.
fucking
Toy
things. and that.
Soldiers, aye. Brilliant.
I was coming back that. I see that
Aye.
fucking Mayor Mercy on Instagram.
Aye, it's
Loads of tattoos seem to be into it. I think because you're used to like the needle and be.
aye, maybe. Aye, I could see that.
Tattoos. They're
Martin's
getting
in
into
it.
Aye, he's in it. I think that's
Well,
how you knew him.
I know Martin from. I know
Is that how
Martin
you knew him?
independently from Craig. Aye, so it was just a coincidence.
Because
that
it
we
was
all
mad that how like, I started putting pictures. Like, I think I put a couple of pictures up with you, and you was like, "What the fuck? That's like two. It's like 2 different lives have just collided. It's mad.
I'm that link.
Aye, but I like we're saying there's like so you get started. What age would you have been then?
18,
Boxing, that's
nearly
quite young.
19 when I started stewarding. Aye, so I would have been 18, 19.
I was about 40.
Aye, that was the thing. So
Get away with it.
so that's where the name sort of comes from. I was called the boy because I was the youngest member of staff in King Tut's. So of all the bar staff and all the rest of it, I was the youngest, but I would look twice as old as everybody else. So they just called me the boy because it was kind of funny. You talk
Would
about
you
the
call
boy.
that when something like you call somebody small, you call them big man?
Aye,
You know what I mean, there's a name for that. Like it's like a fucking. Aye, there's a name for. I know there is.
How's that not happen to me? I get called skinny. That's outrageous.
Dirty bastards.
Aye.
Getting scammed.
Aye.
But then eventually, it was my 20th birthday. Jim, my pal, my flatmate, he said that I can't be called the boy anymore because I'm not a boy.
You're a man now.
I said, I'm a man. Well, not quite. So I get called Manchild, and I'm reliably informed it's named after the Nina Cherry song of the same name.
The tune. I've heard the song, but I can't pick.
And he did ask you to sing it and you refused it.
Aye.
You know what I did in the podcast? No?
I think the main crux is Manchild, look at the state you're in.
That's very fucking relative because I've seen you in some states. But so we done the Mosquito for a long time, and I've said this. I would probably say you were like a face. A lot of people might watch this and go, I recognise him. Well, that's a good or bad.
I was going to say, I recognise that prick. He threw me out.
Because you had Dorman and Kokomo.
Aye.
Which when that opened. That was that.
Aye, so no, it was for a long time between Mosquito, Kokomo, Buff Club, and a long time in Bamboo as well.
I don't think I worked with you in Bamboo, did I?
Don't think so.
I
think
it was like that transit. I came in as you left type thing. Because as I say, when I worked with him, I've never known somebody in my life that could start something out of nothing. And it's hard to explain it, right? Because it wasn't through him being arrogant or just being a dick bouncer. It was just through boredom.
What I say is, I'll show you a mirror to what you're showing me. Right. So if folk are being absolute dicks, I'll be an even worse dick because I've got more pride.
That for I've got 95% of the time.
95. When you seen that 5%, he just went, "Oh, it's a shite, mate. It's boring, isn't it? What you looking at, mate?"
No, he would just honestly, a situation can be completely diffused. Walking a light, and then he would just shout just a wee bit, and you're like, "Come on!" I mean, whatever it is, but like the amount of abuse you used to get. I mean, like I've had some nasty ones, man. I've had people wishing my first. This is older people though. You don't notice that I tend to get me in trouble for people like over the edge of like 35, 40.
Mm.
Like
That's us now.
Aye. I mean, I people pure wishing my firstborn dead and all that, and getting spat on. Like I always remember working on a Thursday night in Bamboo, and I noticed this guy absolutely fucking fleeing, and he went into the guy's toilet, and I went, right, that looks like his missus because she's waiting outside. So I went up and I says, look, he's pretty mad. We need to go. And she's like, nah, I'll look after him. Right? And like, you've been looking after him all night. Look at the fucking nickel. So eventually, like, got him up. He was easily convinced. I said, look, you're pissed. You need to leave. He's like, no worries, and started walking up the stairs. But the mayor, because it's a fucking bit of a dodgy setup, Bamboo. You can't take up 2 flights of stairs to get somebody out. But I got him like halfway up, and then he started kind of resisting a wee bit, going, "Oh, I'm all right, I'm fine." And then she was saying, "No, same part, I'll look after him." Got him to the top stairs, right? And then that's when he started accusing me because he was wearing a blue tap. That's why I was chucking him out. You know, like checking him out because he's a Rangers fan, all that shit.
True.
And she just, that probably was. But see, as I got him out, she fucking turned around and spat right in my face. Right? An absolute fucking belter. And she, like a 45, 50-year-old woman, spat right in my fucking face. And Alan and Robin get a hold of her. And it turned out she was like quite a high heat up copper.
Is that what you've got that kink for?
Aye, getting spat on, aye.
Spit on me.
Fucking grogger got me right in the middle of the fucking forehead, man. Absolute peach, but she was a police officer.
Do you know I've had
the worst.
wildest? There was one night in Mosquito, and I'm sure it was like Black Friday, so it's like the last Friday before Christmas.
That's the carnage one, I'm guessing.
Aye. Some folk call it Black Eye Friday because you end up with a black eye at the end of it. And there was Mosquito was absolutely stowed. You couldn't get moving. And one of the bar staff came up to the door and said, "There's a guy taking a pee in outside the gents' toilets. Like there's a wee fire escape bit." He's having a pee there, and I thought, fuck's sake, and I went in, and then sure enough, there's this kind of big stout older guy, and he's just doing his trousers up. So I just grabbed him, and I thought, right, and there's fire exits right there, and there's a absolutely jam-packed pub all the way through. So I thought, you're just going out that door. I'm no dragging you all the way up. So I pushed him outside, him and his pal, and they're giving it all sorts, big loudy and the rest of it. So I closed the fire door, think like that, done, and then just saunter back round to the door. But as I get back to the door, that old boy's running round from the back and he's attacked me at the top of the stairs.
See, you're thinking, that's my job done for the night. I'm a guy, and then you get done to myself. It's amazing.
So the steward from Bunker comes running across. The steward from Bunker comes running across to give me a hand. The two of us are restraining this guy, right? 2 Polish are walking along on horses. So they come and go up the horses and arrest this guy.
How did they get rid of some cunt their horse?
Take them back in the old days, tie him up and run to the horse.
Drag him to the police station.
So it was just the most crazy, surreal thing ever, right? But anyway, so as he's being shouting, he's telling me he's like the managing director of quite a big children's charity. I won't mention the name. I'll probably get the name wrong after all these years, so I definitely won't mention it. But it was like see if I said the name, you would. Anyway, so he was saying that to the police, so he obviously kind of thought must have been true. So anyway, he get taken away eventually, right? And about an hour later, this woman appears at the door, and she's like, "Can I just go and pick my husband up?" I thought, "Aye, on you go and try and see if you can find him." 10 minutes later, she comes back. "Can I find him? He's definitely here." And I thought, "Oh, I don't know." And never thought anything of it, right? And I said, there's a couple other pubs that are kind of like this round about here, so I pointed her across the road to a few different places. Half an hour, she comes back. Says, "No, she's definitely not here. His last message said he was in here and I was picking him up here." And just, there was something about it. Suddenly I thought, "Is your husband's name such and such the name that I'd heard?" And she's like, "Oh, aye, that's right. I don't know how to break this to you, but he attacked me and he's arrested." He's been arrested. And I said, is he a managing director of such and such children's charity? And she's like, aye, that's him.
For fuck's sake.
Aye, you get the jail.
But you get, but I say you get the mentals, but don't you? That people that are high up, but I used to, do you know what? I hated it, but I loved it because I used to wind them up like fuck. Seeing people start talking about money. You're on like £5 an hour, and then my part would always be, "I'm doing this for free, just a date for nothing, just so that I can ruin your night." Just to flip it round, because I always thought, you only earn £5 an hour.
Aye.
And so fucking what?
Aye, you might have got that from me. That was my favourite. I like, I'm independently wealthy. I don't need this job. I just do it for the fun of it.
I just do it to annoy you. That's my job.
I didn't like it.
But I've not, like, I have no numbers or anything to back this up. So I might be wildly accurate, but I think stewards are probably the most abused job, like regular jobs you can get. And I know, like, nurses and paramedics can get absolute dogs abuse, but you don't get that every shift, constant every shift. Whereas bouncers will just get dogs abuse all day.
And then like, people wonder why the fuse is shot. No, I mean, if you're sitting there getting your fucking, not even just physically, like mentally, just shouting and bawling, having barnage with people, and then you wonder why at like 2:30 in the morning that you're telling some cunt to fuck off because they're trying to get in with a fucking pink Lacoste t-shirt on.
Yeah,
no, I mean, it's going to happen. No, I mean, but see, to be fair, like I enjoyed it. I think I probably had a few bad days, you know what I mean? But I see the socialising side of things. I mean, I loved it. See the part, just that pure, just getting to slag. Do you know what? It was a position of power because you go to slag people and they couldn't really say much.
You're making it sound like bouncers are knobs, like you're the main guy. Everybody's like, do you know what it was? I enjoyed slagging people.
But you get a bit of slagging, and if they were funnier than you, then you chucked them out.
Right. You know,
it's like a comedy event. Get out. You're not good.
But that's the thing, you know what I mean? You're going to get somebody that looks at us ginger and a bit fat, you know what I mean, and go, you know, just say, "Oh, you're ginger or fat or whatever," and it's just crap shit. Like you've heard it all before. Who cares? Like it's water off a duck's back.
Remember?
But I think about that come back all the time. So I'm hammering you with
you've
something.
Got it sitting
I'm hammering you with something perfect, and you'll greet.
Remember the guy says he was going to come back and chop you up, and you're like, "Oh, it's the butcher of Bath Street," shouting in the middle of the place, and everybody, that was brilliant. "I'm going to come back and chop you up at half free." I used to get that one all the time.
Butcher of Bath Street.
People coming back saying they're going to come back and get you. You're like,
that was one of the questions I've got here. Because I didn't think, I see Bonnet all through, I was out all the time, as you know. I was a party animal. I never had problems with bouncers. Usually they'd tell you to do something to perhaps some do it. Like I'm not going to mention the club, but the bouncers used to go, "Johnny, can I start a wee scuffle so we can throw them out? We need a reason to throw them out." Stuff like that. She had stuff like that. And I never had a problem with bouncers. The only time I had a problem was with your missus in Newcastle. When she danced on a table and I danced on a table. And it was kind of my fault, but I get grabbed from behind and I elbowed the person. Didn't realise it was a bouncer, so they kind of gave me a wee kicking and threw me out. But that's the only problem I've had, and that was technically my fault. I elbowed somebody thinking it was just... I've had a few good slaps when people having the clock seeing bamboo because it's dead dark. I remember it was just a wee bit of a push and shove, and I just kind of went to separate, and this wee Irish guy just turned around and just went, "Fuck you," clocked me an absolute peach. And see that way, you kind of walk over docile, they're having a wee argument about something, I'll go and try and defuse it or whatever, and he just turned around and slapped me right in the cooting, man.
There's a few times.
And he looked at me like, shit.
I said, no realised you're a bouncer, and then just hit you and went, like, shit.
But he was expecting like this carnage thing to happen, not I mean, we'll put him in the back and set about him. And just put him at the front, set about him. No, but I enjoyed it, the social side of things. I've always said to people, 2 things I've learned for doing it was people. I mean, what people are like, you know what I mean? And get that social, like, you lose that going out every Friday, Saturday night, but you kind of had that a wee bit of awe because, like, you had that, you were in amongst it, but sober. And a wee bit having a good laugh, you know what I mean?
No, definitely. There was a good social element to it, and, like, when you're young enough that going out on a Monday night, because that's the only night you get to go out, and you can go out with all the bar staff and all the rest of it. When that's manageable, it's great. So it is. There's a good wee community, a folk all sort of know each other,
especially with working the door with stuff, because you're with them more hours than you're with your wife and partner. You know what I mean? You're fucking with these people 8 hours a shift, standing right next to them the whole day. You know what I mean? So you do get, but you always think you're going to be in contact with them forever, and then the minute they move from one bar to another bar, it's fucking see you later, never see them again.
Do you know, it's awful how close a pal you would have. And then just all of a sudden you don't.
But is that because you've got to put so much trust in them in a certain extent? Because obviously if you're on the doors with them, you need to trust this person.
Because I noticed in Mosquito, a lot of people came and went. See, it just didn't fit. It was like people just didn't fit either. Not so much just the pattern and the thing, just that wee bit of common sense. You know what I mean? Especially situations. I remember one time I brought a team of guys up, and actually, you were working, you fucked up, and this guys were threatening to beat the shit out of me downstairs, and I went, listen, you can do what you want. At the end of the day, you're going to leave. Whether it's fucking in an ambulance or a police car, whatever, you're going to leave. So eventually left, but they were all still hitting out the part, and I'm kind of looking up at you. It was you and Pistol. I'm looking up, going, and I walked up the tap room, and it's as if you have went, oh, that's Craig up, I'm fucking off now. You fucked off across the road to go speak to the boys at Bunker, and Pistol walked downstairs, and I'm standing upstairs going, the fuckers didn't get the tone. They didn't get the eye contact going, fucking stop. And then they were all outside giving me absolute fucking abuse for ages. I had to actually close the gate because they were trying to get back in to kick shit at me, and you were there talking to Jamie. And I'm like, oh,
it's all about communication. We've got radios and earpieces, you could have said something.
But the minute I'm like, listen, these dicks are want a bit, then I'll get done in. Because I think it's only maybe once I'd had a proper. Remember that time I got kicked in the face?
I was going to say, do you remember that time you get kicked in the face?
That was a fucking.
That was a belter.
I thought I'd lost my teeth. Because I did feel something jingling about my mouth. Because I went to drag this guy outside. Guy's buzz. And it just slipped, because we outside it was like tiles. Just slipped, man. And the guy fell on top of me. But I kind of had him in a headlock. And but these two guys at smoking thought, right, I'll help this guy up. Like, try to help, but
as if two guys have just fallen, no realising.
So they managed to pull that guy out of my headlock and then let him go.
And then the guy just went, took his turn, man. Bang.
Just fucking rugby kicked me, man, right in the fucking cooting. But just at that split second, you and we, is it Diaco, wasn't it? I think it was Diaco was what that.
Maybe it was that.
I think it was you and Diaco just got down at that moment as I get kicked in the face. No, Big Thomas. It was Thomas.
Was that?
It was Thomas, because he had to hold me back.
They all look the same.
Hold you back, man. Hold me back, Thomas. Hold me back.
He did, because then you were graphing that, going like, you could have fucking lost your job in that, because.
Because you chased him out into the street and all that. I forgot that.
Because I went into the back to check my mouth, because I thought I'd bust all my teeth. And then I realised that I was still as ugly as I was before. So that's when I ran up, and then I wanted him to be standing there, but you just had them down on the deck anyway. And I was ready to fucking flip the kick his face, but
because we were restraining him, so we couldn't have stopped you. Is that right?
So it was you and Jamie held him, and then thing was at the door, Thomas, and he was the one that was holding me. He had me like pure jacked up, man, pure fucking.
Craig's acting like pure bouncing this. This guy's got my one on. Craig, calm down, son. Calm it, boy.
Maybe the year, because Thomas was a big boy at the time as well.
Thomas,
I think I was probably one of the smallest people about.
Aye.
But
that's, what folk always say, oh, gee, you can have your bounce big enough to us. It's not about that.
No.
It's no, I think it's your mouth. It's just been able to, because it's not even about fighting or nothing either, because I can't fight.
I
you know what I mean?
You can't fight?
No,
I can't
fight.
You know what I mean? I know some folk think I look like a nice big guy, but I think I carry myself as a nice big guy. But I can sort of.
It's because
turn it on a
I
wee bit.
always say this though, see when you have like, you've got an element of danger about you because your height and size and strength, but like not that you've mastered, but you know that, so you don't need to act like somebody that is strong. Because you're like, what do you need to put a show on for? You just know that if something happened, I can handle myself. Not saying that you go and smash the shit out of them, but you be able to defend yourself and stuff, so you don't have to fucking project that to everybody that you meet. I mean, you can be just chilled.
Confidence in myself.
So you don't need to fucking we do get people that talk about fighting and fucking.
I know.
Or a shout or a battle to guys at the weekend. Alright, fucking
They're the ones that don't last, as you're saying, Mosquito.
You do get people that think that the fighting side of things is most important.
There's mainly your mouth in it, I'm guessing.
You need to be able to talk.
Doesn't matter how good a fighter you are. There's somebody better at
Oh,
fighting.
aye,
So
that's
if that's the only thing you can do, eventually you'll get found out.
You're
Whereas
you're out.
Because you're obviously trying to diffuse the situation. You're only
don't
trying
want
to,
it.
you don't want to sit and have a fight. You're trying to diffuse it. And as you're saying, if you're getting somebody and it goes, I'll battle 2 people you can, that can't be good for you. You must be looking at it and going,
and you get a lot, especially like you can forgive younger bouncers or stewards that are doing it because they think that it's the older guys that know better. You're like, come on.
You just can't see even just. I think the most important part was just crowd management, as in types of people that you were bringing in.
Yeah.
I think that was made, especially in like a bar like Mosquito and they kind of like licensed pubs. It was all about the type of people you were bringing in.
Yeah.
And then people used to always go, but I can just judge somebody on like a split second, and you end up getting good at it. You know what I mean?
You can't, and obviously there's times you're going to make mistakes and knock somebody back. You think they were actually all right, and you do that because see when they're like, oh okay, and you think
I was genuinely just about to say that
Aye.
there. I've been knocked back and I went, ain't no problem, mate. And they went, no what, mate, on you going in.
Aye.
So
I've
that's
done
the
it
thing
plenty of
that you kind of.
So how do you respond? How people respond to a negative situation.
Yeah.
So like I was even someday I said it was a couple. They came up and he had this like light green, like shiny CD jackets that light up in the dark, you know,
fluorescent
my
ones.
thing. And I was like, he's like, and I asked him the usual question, where you been and stuff like that. And they were genuinely sober and chilled out. And I went, look, do me a favour. Have you got a bag? And he's like, I've got a handbag. I put your jacket in the bag. Because he had like a black jumper underneath. It's not that the jacket's no nice and if it's a shite jacket, it's just that you're going to stand out like a Sir Fund there and then you're just going to get noticed the whole night. So,
but even like that, those fluorescent jackets can screw up the cameras as obscure because the nightclubs are dark, so they're all sort of infrared or whatever, so they can see in at night time. If you're wearing fluorescent, that reflects that night.
So, but that guy appreciated that. You know what I mean? Because then afterwards, I've never getting to places, and I'm going, well, you need to blend in. You know what I mean? You can't go kicking about with fluorescent green and pink and all that, and because you'll just get noticed all night. And this is it. The minute the staff behind the bar don't like you or don't want to serve you, it's our job to get you out. But I've always found most of my decisions I've made wrong haven't been through people kicking off. It's been people just getting too drunk. I'm like, I shouldn't have let him in. And then next minute he's fucking butt naked in the toilet, passed out, and he's in sick.
And then you're sitting in the back of him. Man, are you sorted?
I know. But no, it was that side of things, and I quite enjoyed the whole getting to judge people. I know it sounds bad, but like you can judge when somebody's upset, angry. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean,
the thing you needed to have though, and it's something that always wound me up is like, I've made my decision. I can't go. I've made my decision. I can't go back. How good are you? You can't make a mistake. It's one thing that I was always said to any of the stewards what done to me. I says, you can change your mind. One, if you knock somebody back and it's like the owner, the manager's pal, and they like make you let them in, like eventually you're going to have to let them in. So if you dig your heels in and start moaning and refusing or whatever, it's going to be worse and worse and worse for you, because eventually you're going to have to do it.
You're going to have to let them in.
So that's up to you. So if you always give yourself a wee bit of wiggle room, there's always some way you can pivot and manoeuvre to save face, to just to make yourself feel about it a bit better about it. And if you can say, look, by the way, I shouldn't have done that, I'm sorry. I thought something. And it was one time I do remember near the end of it, because I really kind of get fed up with stewarding as well.
You got quite a lot. You had detached eye socket twice, didn't you? Near the end?
No, so
what was that?
No, just that cracked big black eye. I got punched
maybe
one night.
The eyeball was fucking sticking out.
No, so it was just I get punched one night, and actually, so I'll tell you that story. It's quite funny. Thing is, I get punched about something terrible, right? But I've got a giant head. I can take a punch like a belter, right? So it doesn't bother me. Like obviously it's sore and stuff at the time.
So we test it in 5 minutes,
right? See when Craig kicked in the face and went mental and tried to like murder the guy, right? I've been kicked in the face and it doesn't bother me because it's weird. I know it's weird, but I've got this sort of chill about it.
You're just into that kinky shit.
Maybe. Anyway, so there was a night I knocked a guy back from me. I think he'd been in Kokomo and I wouldn't let him back in because he was steaming. And then so he kicked off, punched me a couple of times. I restrained him over at the other side of the street. And it was dead busy. And so we just took the decision not to phone the police, just get it done because we're too busy for this. And this will take me out of the game for half an hour until it's all dealt with. So we just sort of chased him. And then 10 minutes later, something else, a wee scuffle kicked off. And then so between a few guys out in the sort of smoking area and the queue and all that. So I was sort of helped splitting that up, and I was just holding it. And I wasn't even restraining him yet. I was just holding his wrists. right? But he was sort of struggling, so it was a bit of back and forth. And then I remember just getting popped a belter, and I thought it was the guy I was holding, and I can remember thinking,
how the
How
fuck
did he
manage
do
to do
that?
that?
Fucking leg came up, man. Chuck Norris.
He kicked me, or did he header me? That was really fast. So anyway, but Pierre knocked me. It was the first time that I'd ever felt like Pierre losing. So I just sort of collapsed on top of him and just dragged him to the deck. And I'm sorry, because it turned out it wasn't him, but he got it because I had like thumbs in between ribs. You know what I mean, like eye gouging, fish hooks, all the rest. You know what I mean? Nothing that would leave a mark. But and then anyway, so my eye just went closed over and swelled up. And it was only when the other stewards came out and somebody took over from me. And as I stood up, I looked, and there was another couple of stewards over the street restraining some guy doing very similar to what I was just doing. I was like, what happened there? That was the guy that punched you. So
you're walking up going, sorry mate, I didn't mean it.
Picking him backing up, fluffing his jacket and all that. We 20 quid in his pocket.
There you go.
So it turned out it was the guy that we chased earlier, no phone the police.
He actually came back?
He'd obviously, he was that busy, he might have been hanging about, and he's obviously just waited for my back to be turned, to be distracted with something. He's ran up, and I think I've been into this. So as we're doing that sort of back and forth, I've sort of came down into his, he's punched me from behind.
To be fair, like, even the lack of you not being able to just reflex. Because if you're having an argument with somebody, that wee movement there just takes so much of the punch.
So it was just totally unprepared, not braced or nothing. So I got a fractured eye socket, and I think they call it a commutated fracture of the nose. And I remember seeing the X-ray, and there was just like wee bits of cartilage. It was all just like a wee mosaic. You know what I mean? My nose looked kind of like that shape. You know what I mean? It was all just those wee bits of
all over the place.
So that was a badging, and then like a couple of days after, so I was off for a wee while. I was waiting for that to heal up and stuff like that. I had surgeries and stuff like that. It was a badging. But one of the first shifts I was back on, another guy punched me right in the face. Same eye. Luckily, there was no damage that time, so but
it just swelled up, didn't it?
It just swelled because my eye was recently
Just
healed. It was obviously quite sensitive, so it just swelled up again.
I thought it was the same picture. I was like, fuck's sake, he's fucking dragging this on a bit.
I know.
He's getting his lights on this Instagram.
Is that for the DLA?
But it's the funny sound that second guy, but right, so he punched me, and then I was restraining him, and then he was like, just let me go, just like Pierre begging for me to let me go, and I'm like, no, you're getting done, right? And then the club was just closing, so it was just sort of chucking out time, and then as I was restraining him, all the guys, there's a bunch of regulars, and a guy, Big Paul, I don't know if you know Big Paul, a big black guy, but he's like,
oh, I know who you're talking about.
Like the biggest guy ever. And if you're out there, Big Paul, how you doing? Long time no see.
I know who you're talking about.
But like just like John Coffey, big, you know, he's an enormous big guy, right?
Yeah.
And so as he comes out, he sees me restraining this guy, the big black guy, and he's like that. And he hears the guy, just let me go, just let me go. So he's like, just let him go, we'll take him. And he's like, don't let me go, don't let me go, please don't let me go.
Motor shows up like we'll take him.
That's amazing.
That's one thing I noticed. Even me being a wee bit smaller than most of the people. Like, see Big Michael, remember Big Michael? He was a big black guy. He used to work mainly work with Chris.
Anyway, that's right.
He got some amount of abuse when I worked with him. Like just people as if it was a challenge. And then ignoring me and Chris going like that.
Is it because of his size they wanted to?
I think you've met Big Michael, because I think we went to cinema one time.
Oh,
big friendly guy, man.
Dead nice.
He's an accountant and that now. But he just got it all the time. You know what I mean? Like just out of nowhere going, why did
I get a dead nice manner? I think folk can sense that you are dead nice and you probably won't do anything to me. And they might get that wrong, but that reminds me of another big guy. And he was an enormous big guy, but and he would obviously be able to sort of throw his weight about and stuff like that. So I think
weight is quite important though, because not to hurt anybody, but just so they don't hurt themselves. Because you can put your weight on somebody and stop them fucking moving about. Then it stops having to be
but this guy, he see if a wee guy didn't care about his size and a wee guy would square up to him, he lost it. He would bottle it because he's like, this guy should be afraid of me.
But he's not.
Shit.
Why
not?
Aye. And you don't know anybody. You know what I mean, like Robert, the kickboxer, he's like 5'5" or something.
So our boys go to kickboxing, and guy that trains him is amazing. He's done all these
championships.
He's trains all these young people up.
He's
to the
addicted to
championships.
the game. That I mean, that's like he
loves it. But he's small. So see, if you seen him in the street, you wouldn't think he could kick your ass, and you could probably batter most people. But he's such a lovely guy as well. You go up to him, he's like, "Oh, how's it going, guys? Dead nice and everything."
It's like that. You don't know what people are capable of.
Yeah. So you're saying, like, if he was to come up to the door, and then, like, obviously, wouldn't do it.
That's the problem. You find, see, people that are trained are people that can fight. You'll not get that because they'll not put themselves in a position where, like, they've trained their whole lives to not be in that situation. So 9 times out of 10, if somebody says, "I'm going to go and pat and smash you," you go, "No, you're going to go away and get a bag of gear, go to and get absolute your face and forget all about me." So people do that, because you do get that, "I'm a kickboxer," and you go, "You've done like a wee 12-week charity gig."
There was one night in Coco.
I know exactly what you're hitting there.
There was one night Coco. That it was. I seen a guy just trying to chat a bird up. He was sitting in a booth. The bird was passing and all that. So he was getting up, like, "Come join us in the booth." And his pals and all that. And then she was just like, no interest. So as she turned round, he threw his drink at her back. So I thought, "You're out." So I went to speak to him. Started saying he's need to leave. And he straight away started struggling. And then I thought, he's kind of just a wee guy, and he was like Italian or something. You can like that kind of Mediterranean look. It turns out he was Greek, but that So as I was trying to put him out, and he was right strong. I thought, this wee guy is trying. So me and I think it was Andrew Spears.
Andrew Spears. Remember him?
We were trying to drag him up the stairs.
Especially when you worked in Kokomo with him. That stories.
Anyway, but so we were trying to get this guy up the stairs, and two were struggling at fuck trying to get him up the stairs. Eventually, we were making that much noise that 2 police that happened to be walking by came in to see what was going on, and so the 4 of us were struggling to just keep him restrained and get him up the stairs. And I eventually you get lifted, and that was him huckled away, and the police were just like, "That's what happened." I was like, "No, just and like literally there, people like that."
You're right.
Like I'm wrestling this guy up,
but it's scary though when you're sitting pulling somebody out and you're going, "Wait a fucking minute, these people are moving." And it's never all. It's not like you say. It's no big heavy guys that you struggle with, because sometimes you can use their weight a wee bit. If they don't know how to use their weight against them, move them a bit. But see, when you are pulling somebody up and going, "Fuck, they're not moving." But again, that's what gets them into bother, because then you start thinking, right, if he's not moving, I'm going to have to start fucking doing stuff that obviously isn't trained in the SIA licence and law book. No, I mean, to get him to move. So people always go, sorry, acting hard with 5 people, but the reason why you had 5 people restraining 1 person is for their safety. Because
I've had that before, guys like, "Look at me, you're breathing through your ass, and look at me. You were lying down for all of that.
I'm having to move it about you."
There's a reason. So anyway, like weeks later, the same cops came back and he's like, "Do you remember that time?" And they said, "I thought, I do. I remember. I've just about got my breath back." Turns out he was a Greek and European kickboxing champion.
Oh, for God's sake! You're like that. Thank God you were top walk by that time, mate.
You're sitting there going like that, right? Fucking retiring, right? Like you just don't know. That's a fucking scary bit. You could just have anybody. I don't think I've had anybody that's been, especially in Bamboo, really, because they were all kind of students. I think students were a fucking nightmare. Mate, I worked in, remember Mooney? So he used to be the head doorman in the student union. Was it the Strathclyde?
Oh, I don't know. I never did the union, so I'm not sure
done it
what
like one weekend. They would never do it again. You need to have a different mentality dealing with these people, because they just don't, like, the way they act. See the student, like, people were in there going, if that was anywhere else, this place would be a fucking riot with the amount of stuff they were getting away with. So this one time, I was at last shift I done, and this was probably why, but there was a guy passed out in one of the cubicles. So looked over, and there he is, and it had to be this big guy. I mean, in fucking trousers at the ankles, and he's leaned there. And I was like, "Fuck." And I'm like, again, I had the mentality going, "This isn't my gig. I'm just covering, so I don't give a fuck." So I kind of jammed the door open and gave him the old shake, the old fucking chest thing. Wasn't he moving? So instead of phoning an ambulance, make sure it was alright, I just filled a big pint glass full of water. And Mooney's like, "You can't do that." And I'm going, "Well, I'm not coming back anyway." Fuck you. But see, the minute I'd done it, he just sprung up. It was like fucking, it was like magic. Boom, sprung up. And I was the only person facing him in the cubicle. So he came charging at me. But the way we fell, I could have, like, it's kind of like a judo toss type thing. I pulled his full jumper out of his head. right? So his trousers.
I was just Matt Wang was going to say there. Trousers at his ankle
tap was his head more or less, and I've kind of got this. I'm not seeing what's happening behind me, right? And nobody fucking helped me because they're all too busy pissing themselves laughing, right? So I'm sitting there struggling to kind of his arm. He was kind of like that, and I'm holding him, and he's pure getting. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm looking about and they're all fucking in the stitches because this guy's he's fucking was flapping about. So I was rolling about because he looked butt naked to them, but eventually they calmed down. He was from France, he was there, and I'm mad. Don't you get scholarships and things, but it was something like that for rugby.
Right.
And but you know what's shite with the unions? You used to take their student cards off them. So if something went wrong, you took it off them, and I think then you hand it into the
university. We get told that as well.
And if they get it like so many times, they're it.
So I got my accountancy degree, and then we were talking to one of the head lecturers, and they spoke about that. So see your barcode, you've got a barcode. So see if you get into student nights, they take your barcode. So many things can affect your grade. So one of the guys they knew was doing straight A's, and I mean like top everything, but he was out all the time, and he kept causing trouble. He actually failed, but even though he passed, because they look at that as well. So as you're saying, it just shows you these students.
There was a few times I had to take student cards off people for daft stuff. You know what I mean, like just refusing to like leave there was like an exit bit, and I kept telling the guy to move so that you can't stand here. This is a fire exit, blah blah blah. Stay away from it. And Mooney says, look, if he does that again, just take your student card off him. I was like, fuck off. So moved him, and then Mooney went and took his student card off him, and I went, fuck, that's a strike. It was something that daft. Fair enough. I think I told him like 5 times to stay away from it, but I'm going, that guy could like not ruin his life, but fucking close enough if you get kicked out of uni.
Well, my dad used to work for Strathclyde Uni. I was sitting in the boiler rooms and stuff for the estates, and a student attacked him one night when he was on night shift. And I think I ended up going down the road that he was getting about to get kicked out. I think my dad felt guilty. He said, well, I didn't want that to happen.
It's just a daft boy made a daft decision.
Stupid boy being silly.
But these are consequences for the actions. So
like,
obviously he felt guilty, but that's what happens when you don't.
There was a lot of consequences for people's actions. Like I remember there was a time in Bath Street where a group of girls left. It was I remember having an umbrella, it was pissing down, and they tried to get in a black cab, but somebody else had tried to get in the other side of it. So the driver chose the guy over the 5 lassies, and they didn't like that, so they went after the nut, started attacking the driver, and this all happened within like 20 seconds. And so the driver came out, and he kind of started fighting back, which, to be fair, if you're starting flinging punches at somebody, you need to expect them to retaliate. So he started kind of fucking dishing them out, but we kind of ran over and kind of separated the woman away from the motor so that he could go. But just as he jumped in to drive away, this lassie grabbed onto the kind of the handle to get in to get her bag, and he dragged her down Bath Street.
Okay.
So just as she let go, thank fuck she let go, because he was turning right towards Circuit Hall Street, and she let go just before. See, if she'd left it a bit longer, the back we would have been right over her. So she let go, but her fucking head clattered right off the floor. I remember Stephen worked in, he was starting to be a nurse. I think he is a nurse now, over in Bunker. So he clocked the head bang as well, so he came running over, and she was out. So he kept her head still, blah, blah, blah. And then me, Diaco, and I think Jamie had to restrain the other woman. Because they were just trying to pull her up and going, get fucking, we're gone. And Stephen's like, she's no moving. You know what I mean? She's unconscious here from a head injury. She's no moving. And we actually had to wrestle these women off. So anyway, Bath Street got cut off. Police came, ambulance came, took her away in one of the stretchers with the stuff on. I closed the street down for about 2.5 hours. And but the police were too busy to take a statement. So they said, when you next on shift? And it was like the morning. And they came back and turned out that woman had like a bleeding the brain, and said that if she went home, if they got her and went home, she wouldn't have woke up. I mean, and that's just through. I wouldn't have clocked it. I wouldn't have thought about doing that, but just because Stevie had that bit of medical knowledge.
Right place, right time.
Definitely right place, right time. Because, like I said, like she was knocked out, but if it wasn't for him looking after her, then it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
And there's so many dark sides, especially in Glasgow, man. It was fucking. I was sick of it. Like we were talking, like. Me and a boy, Alistair, stopped somebody getting raped. And then you've said that as well. You've stopped.
There's quite a dark story
that night.
There was quite a dark story actually when you think back.
There's a dark, like all fun and games, like saying bouncers are dicks and bouncers, but some of the stuff.
Well, there's loads of folk, there's loads of girls who stop from getting sexually assaulted or raped. There's loads of guys that we stop getting absolute doings from. If it wasn't for the bouncers, your son would end up in hospital. You know what I mean? Loads of times
people just see them being dicks, going, you're not getting in because you've got a fucking earring on. No, I mean that's only like one part of it.
The earring looks shite anyway. So, but no, there's one dark story actually. I really think about it quite often. And it was must have been like, can't remember that. Must have been like a special event or something because Bamboo was open late. So it was open. This is I'm going back years. I still stayed up in sort of Cowcaddensy kind of direction. So this should have been like 2008 or 9 or something like that. So Bamboo was open till like 4 in, and then I was walking home. Basically, like I said, the town was dead. But the time we were out, and because I just stayed up the other side of the town, I was just walking up the road. And I was walking up Bath Street, just at the pedestrian bit of Bath Street where the McDonald's is and all that sort of stuff. And I seen there was a girl walking along by herself like this, tiny, in it against the shops, you know, handbag and high heels under her arms, just walking like this. And I seen 2 guys coming down the street the other way, both, all of it, like, not noticeably drunk, obviously dressed on a night out. And they're both coming down, and they started. One was English, and one was obviously they didn't look as if they were from around here. But they're sort of starting getting the patter, just getting all this sort of shouting at the bird, and then one of them starts honing in, and so the girl starts to sort of like turn and go, trying to turn away another direction to show not to confront him, and he just obviously isn't as drunk as she is, so he can just see exactly where she's coming, and he's just cutting her off every time, and his pals sort of hanging back just to sort of cover. And then so I'm about like 50 yards away, and then so I just shout as loud as my, "Oi! Fuck off!" And just be like, and so the guys immediately just backs up and just starts running. The 2 of them would just give me dog's abuse, but they're backing off, and then the girl's just pure like that, and she's like, "Oh, don't fight." And then so I just stand and I can be dead loud if I need to be dead loud. So the 2 guys eventually back off, and I start chatting, "You all right?" But I wasn't at the end, you know. I was just like, "Are you okay? You fine? Whatever." Right, and then so I just left her as well. But I kind of followed them guys up to make sure that they were going away. But they turned onto another street and got into a van and drove away.
Oh, that's very scary when you think about it.
What were they planning there?
If they had a van, because you
definitely.
I'm not going to get into too much because obviously we're kind of far on, but you've explained to me the stories of the amount of certain type of men that are not drinking in the club, and you can see them.
I'm always more wary of people that are starting a bit of nightclub drinking Red Bull. I've always said that, going like that. They're not here for a fucking good time. They're like, you know, Bamboo was bad
prowling, haven't you?
They're all just sitting corners, you know what I mean?
Do you know what? And it's I think it's all right. See if you're a group of guys and you're driving, or a group of folk you're driving, so you're in Red Bull, but it's folk that themselves.
There's like a wee group, and they're all of that minority, and they're all sitting in the corner, and you go, no. And I don't care. You can sit there and go, oh, like it's a racist, but it's no, because it's fact. They're all sitting there, no moving, fucking just eyeing everybody, and I didn't like these people. I don't like it. I'd rather not get pissed, but they weren't even there for a good time. They weren't dancing. They weren't there fuck all.
I was talking to somebody in the comment section of Facebook one day about something.
So you get all the intelligent conversation.
So the highbrow academic, you know what I mean, discourse. But a guy was the sort of point in contention was like single people point of contention.
Listen, no fucking big words on this.
He doesn't like that stuff. I've already tried to get my degree, and he went, "No, you're not talking about it."
fucking intelligent talk about here. Anyway, right,
so the point we made was single people or single males getting into nightclubs, and how in London you don't. That doesn't. And I commented, I says, well, in Glasgow that's happened for years. We wouldn't let single guys in, and then everybody's like, "No, that's rubbish. That's crap. That's that." And I says, well, chances are a guy by himself is probably going to get involved in trouble. More than not. Like, why are you going to a nightclub? A bar, fair enough, you're going for a drink after a show, whatever, who cares, right? But like, into a nightclub at 1 a.m. by yourself.
Would you remember?
You might not be, but you're probably a weirdo.
Remember the time, I don't know if you worked in Bamboo, with a guy going about cutting people? I don't know if you worked there at the time. So all of a sudden, just all these people, mainly women, come up going, I'm getting fucking these cuts. Legs, fucking thighs, everywhere. And we're going, is there something, maybe like a tile or something like, and it was like a Friday, Saturday night. The place was absolutely jumping. It was probably 11 stewards on, and it got to the point maybe close to like 10 people would come up to us downstairs with cuts. I'm going, what the fuck's going on here? And Robin was headed downstairs, so he was marching about, and he just took it like that. He had like a bit of gut instinct. He's like, I'm going to go check the guy's toilets. I know it was weird, it was all women, but he's like, I'm going to go check see what's going on in there. And there was like a wee, I don't know what, he was like fucking Romania or something like that. But what he was doing, he had a Stanley blade, and he was going about cutting people. But while they were distracted, because he was full of purses and phones, he was robbing them.
Right.
So he's got nicking them. So they're going, what the fuck's that? Bag's there, fucking boom, went for the bag. Bunch of purses in the cubicle and all that. And eventually got hold of him from the police. But there was close to 20 people walking about, slashed. I mean, he was in himself. You know what I mean? That was his job, just to go, empty purses, get phones, and get out. And you're like, that's fucking mental. What a fucking world.
That's crazy.
What scumbags.
So we're getting close to the end of the podcast.
Is it?
I have looked time wise, but we've still got time. But we're kind of more than halfway through. That's what I'm meaning. So as we're going to speak about sponsorships and stuff like that with the Let's Have It team. So you can go into Let's Have It's Instagram, and they've got a lot of things they can do for you and your business. So if you go on and you contact the Let's Have It team, they'll tell you what you can do sponsor-wise for your business, and they can help improve certain things for you as well.
Aye.
So
wee bit of advertisement.
wee bit of advertisement. Plus they offer out the studio as well. I've already went through the deals, but they've got it on their Instagram. So make sure you're on their Instagram and looking through the deals. If you're looking to start your own wee podcast, you can come on, you can rent out the studio for people. And also make sure you subscribe again.
Aye,
so
definitely get subs up.
we've always spoke about bouncing. Let's spoke about your personal life, if you don't mind. So you are now a family man?
Yeah, that's right. Aye, so wee
Which
baby
is
George.
which is a wild thought for me, by the way.
I consider.
You're in charge of another human being. It's fucking scary.
I'm closely supervised by my wife. So
the usual
There's
what happens to
an
wives.
adult there, so that's fine.
So I know about
So what age is George?
he's 5 months.
So he's not a prick yet. Because
Yeah.
once they hit like that 1.5, they start being a wee prick.
He's still a gorgeous baby boy that just
Aye.
looks cute and,
Cute and sweet
Yeah.
and all
and
that.
farts.
That's when they're
Aye.
nice. Aye.
Aye.
I know you'll get and you're talking about having more wins.
Oh.
Just wait till he's a bit two,
And then
you'll get you
that's when
back
you
on
decide.
and you get other
You
conversation
go,
about it.
maybe not, no, because we've got two, and
Aye.
one's alright. Seeing you get two, it's try to keep them both occupied.
Fucking brutal. That's I was just back from Greece, and they were fine, but like, do you know what way you can take? Ron's nearly 70, and he just can look after himself. These own things go, so it's dead relaxing. Whereas Isla, you're having to watch him, make sure he doesn't run away. This and you're like, fuck.
But you feel shite as a parent as well, because Cole, my oldest, is 9, and he keeps himself as well. Like he can look at himself, and then you feel bad because you're like, I'm looking after this one, no doing
Oh,
that
you've
one.
got two each. I thought you said when you've got two.
No,
Together?
we've
No,
You've
no.
got two.
No, we've not done that yet.
We got two together.
Once we get married, we'll have 4 technically. But they feel that guilt. But when they're young, when you've got one, it's perfect. I think, and they're young.
One is the magic number.
It is. Oh,
Because once they get to look after themselves, it's fucking you.
Hoping years to come, your second kids are like, oh, cheers, Dad.
it will be. He's
She'll
a dick.
be in the jail or something like that. Get away.
Oh, I'll be causing mayhem.
I know.
So what, Rebella? She's screaming at me there now. So,
They're,
so are you loving the parent life?
Aye, it is good. It does. It's hard and it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's
but it's hard as being married.
Oh,
You
being
just get
married.
married,
Do you just get married as well?
Aye, so 2022 we get married just at Christmas, near enough. And then it was the 18th of December that George was born. Aye,
Oh,
so
that's perfect
so
then.
like
That's cute.
within a week there's like his birthday, our anniversary, Christmas.
No,
and then my
it's
birthday's the
her
1st of
anniversary.
Aye, it's never
It's
you,
her anniversary.
It's
They
her
fuck
Don't
what
kid
day
on
we use.
every anniversary.
Aye, aye.
What did you get? I got to spend money and take care of a dinner. Technically,
If
theirs.
it's for the both of us, hen, don't worry.
Aye.
Because it's I don't know, parenthood harder than being in a relationship with fucking. I don't know. It's
I'd
harder.
not say I don't know. We've spoke about our wives and how stupid they are, and that's the thing with.
It's
And
fact.
we wondered, is all women like we had Kelsey on. I'd done an episode with Kelsey, and a part of it was like I said to her, like, because I said you're quite stupid. I went, what's 5 times 5, and confidently she turned and went 10. And we're like, is it all women? So is your wife a bit stupid as well? Are you trying not to say it in case you get done in when you get home?
No.
He's been away for 3 days
Aye.
now.
Aye, so I'm getting dogs abuse now, right? Because So it was one of the guys leaving night from my work. So we'd planned this first when you were coming to this, right? But our old boy my work was leaving. So we went out to play pool on Thursday, and then so I went because I knew I was doing a couple of things that I'll go for an hour. I didn't drink. I drove, played a couple of games of pool with him, and then we up the road and left into the night out. Then it was one of my.
And you did do that.
I did Thursday, aye. So, I know, aye. And then and then it was one of my good mates. It was his dad's funeral yesterday, and it all planned at the last minute. So I get parachuted in yesterday. So I was out for that. Obviously, a few drinks after. And then I'm here today. So she's like 3 nights out in a row.
3 nights.
That's a funeral. No, that's a funeral you can't hang with. This is a podcast where you're not getting drunk. You're on the high and brew, and it's pool there, man. That's not really 3 nights out.
So getting dogs abuse, but also. She's going to kill me for this, but it's too funny.
Fuck it.
So we went to, where did we go? It was the Deer Centre.
Sounds expensive.
My dad will love you because he made the same joke. The Deer Centre up in Kirkcaldy or whatever it is, right? And so we're going through all the different bits and looking at the different animals that are there and stuff like that. So there's deers. There's more than just deers, funnily enough. But there's a wee bit right at the end, and it's the haggis enclosure, right? And it's just this wee bit, and it's all done up, and there's a wee sign, just the same as all the other enclosures, telling you about haggis. Kate's be like that.
Oh my god!
And I'm like, no. And she's like, what? Oh no! Right, no, just move on. You need to cut that back now that I've said it. Because Mars is clapped.
His fucking heart's going on red to sweat. Oh fuck!
Oh my god!
I still think she fucking hits you. She will start now. She's like, "Fuck it, that's a new hobby." Yeah, my slab. You can take a punch apparently.
Did you have to explain to her though? But
sometimes no point.
I couldn't. I just left it.
But she might be going and saying to her pals, "Oh, it was great. We went." But the haggis, they disappeared. They couldn't come out and see us.
Well, I was talking about haggis. My wee cousin Gary, we were out camping. And my dad and uncle and that convinced him that we're going to go haggis hunting in the morning, so make sure you get up nice and early. Wee bit of patter and we were all laughing. It was like shite patter. So we're all lying there fucking 7:30 in the morning. Next minute, Zip's gone. I'm going, what the fuck's going on? Gary's all dressed. And he's like, where are we going haggis hunting? And you're like, you fucking kidding me on? He's like, I thought we were going to go haggis hunting. And we're like, no, Gary, get back in your fucking tent and fucking sober up, you mad cunt. Because we're convinced them that they're quite easy to catch because they've got one leg short on the other, so just run about in circles. He's like, I'm looking forward to that. No, you just hit me a rock, what do you do? And I was like, you're a fucking spoon burner.
So what do you do in your spare time? You've already kind of went over it.
So I've always been into geek stuff, right? So as I said earlier, I used to work in the Games Workshop, and I've loved all that. And I fell away for a few years, but I've actually got right back into it recently. Because
the drain,
that's
the fucking joy.
I get stick for. But that actually led to other things. So I do like role playing and stuff. None of that kind of role playing.
Does she know that? She's like, keep getting attacked every night. You have balaclava on.
And actually led to LARPing, which is.
If I was to explain it, the movie role models when they're that's what
LARPing's live action role playing.
That's it. So I think, see if you don't know anything about LARPing, role models is a reasonable close approximation of what actually happens. And you get folk to make their own costumes and weapons and stuff. But something looks amazing, and it's like film studio quality stuff.
I've seen some.
It's perfect. You know?
I remember you were dressed up as a wizard one time, weren't you? That's the picture I remember.
With the blue hair, no?
The blue hair. You're stoking about fucking Belhouston Park or something like that.
Wee 5-year-olds running about smack.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that must be enjoyable for other people because you just assume that it's just this typical type of people who go to that. But you have like people like yourself, and then you have like older women.
There's
like
a whole cross section of folk. It's not just all weirdos.
Is it like a big community in a sense?
So the sort of wider sort of community is great. It's awesome. There's so many great people that are into all sorts of professionals and all that sort of high floating jobs, and then at the weekend they're away doing something odd in a park. You know what I mean? But.
He sounds pure dodgy. I mean, in something in a park,
sitting in a park bench, staring at the lines.
But you know what it is? It is right good. Obviously I get dogs abuse for it because it is something weird.
But it's weird for people that don't see it.
It's a better hobby than maced. You know what I mean? Like going to watch
Well,
football
do you
on
know,
a Saturday night.
I
that
can
shit.
compare, like, so I'll go and do my thing and I'll be dressed up as a character and I've got all my lines that I say and all the things that I do, right? And there's a whole bunch of us all doing the same thing, right? And then but you go to a football game with your favourite footballers tap on and you're all singing the same songs and really, what is the difference?
There's
You
no
know what I mean?
difference.
Right?
Well, I think it's sad seeing you're 25 and you see people wearing Fitbit taps. I do, and I'm a Fitbit fan. Only the Fitbit, but I was in a restaurant yesterday and I seen somebody, I swear not to lie, I'm not saying this because I'm a Rangers fan, but the guy was wearing a Celtic tap and Celtic shorts in a restaurant, and I'm like, it's quite embarrassing. But you're doing it for an actual going to an activity and doing it there. It's not like you're doing it. I think it's quite cool. I'd enjoy it.
I think at the time when I found out you'd done it, it buckled me for ages, and I thought, what a fucking big dweeb.
And now
I'm like, any excuse to get out the house. Would you want me to dress up as?
One of the best times was in Kokomo, actually, back to bouncing. There was one of the managers in there, right, loved Game of Thrones, so she wanted to organise a Game of Thrones night, and it was just a trite excuse for a different club night. So it was just different flyers and stuff made up. And I says, well, I'll get right into this. So I get a loan of loads of stuff, and I get my pal of mine gave me a loan of his like night gear. So I was dressed head to toe in like plate armour. So I looked like a night out of Game of Thrones, and I did the dough like that. And then there was wee Mo. I made him dress up like a Dothraki. So Mo was like handsome, chiseled, all the rest of it. And he refused to take his top, and I was like, get that tap off.
Show the boys.
So he had all the leather armour and stuff that I got from another pal. And the two of us did, and then I brought. See my Wizards dressing gown. It's like a black kind of silk dressing gown. Right, so I brought that in. I made Hendo wear it. So Hendo looked like the wee baldy guy. So there's a picture of the three of us all standing in West Regent Street, and it's quality. So it ended up taking to things like that, and that was a good interaction because I had the big rubber swords, right? It doesn't really, it just looks like a sword, but it's like close inspection. It's like latex and stuff like that. But they're quite stiff. It's like
I've seen them used them in Braveheart. See at the end, see a Braveheart, you see them all charging. But you see Hamish's axe. It's fucking. You know,
see now the cameras like HD and like
you can see
and stuff.
Difference.
Things you'd never see before. You can see now. But we had so with this night costume, I had this big sword, and one of the PRs was kind of like making fun of it. It's like crap, and I says, "Is that right?" And I just battered him this sword. And he's like,
Be the shite him. But no, and it does look quite fun, man. It's like.
But how do you get into that though? Because I know you said you're in the geek community, but so somebody like us, we don't know. No, he did say that. But how would we know about that? Like, because you don't really.
It's no like. See when you explain to somebody's like, "Can I come and watch it?" Because what I used to explain before I was a wee bit less confident in explaining things to people, I would always say I was into like improv drama and stuff. Because LARPing, especially, so there's a type of LARP that I play quite a lot, like a vampire game, right? So it's all sitting in the back a dark room somewhere, and we're all sort of plotting each other's demise, trying to do one over and get one up on each other. So it's all sort of politics and social scheming and that sort of stuff.
In my house anyway.
So I try and organise, trying to barter for a night out, right? So if I go out then, you can go out then, and it's all it's the same. But you could explain it as like improvisational drama, because it's like, here's a setting, this is my character, your character, right? Something's happened, you need to sort it out. And so there's no dice and all that. So it's all. If there was an audience there, it would sort of fit in quite well.
You done a show though, didn't you?
Well, so I also then did shows, but that was just actual
acting,
drama and panto.
But it came for that probably because you would have known.
Well, so the pals that did, it's a very sort of close run thing. So the pals that I met from that, she also ran a drama class, so she asked me to join in with that. So it was all very the same sort of skill set. I feel like. But it's hard to get into if you don't know anything about it.
You know somebody.
Need to know. So I've got some questions for you because we're coming right to the end now.
Right.
Bouncing questions. I put it on the No Young No Auld Insta. I know, bouncing man. Your dad jokes are embarrassing, mate. No wonder your wife doesn't want to be with you.
Thing about stickers are wonderful.
So got some questions. So the first one's for mines. So I've got a question. Please can quickly answer. When a lassie walks up to the door, right, and the bouncer goes, "Oh, here's trouble," and gives her a wee cuddle, does that mean he's a walking a? Guys have been rattled through it. Tell the truth, because it happens. You do see it all the time.
Maybe know some, kind of, but I know from like them.
Aye, but
you can kind of go, they've been passed about.
Aye, so you kind of know the whole kind of.
That means they've been there too many times.
Aye,
so.
there's definitely times where like a couple will be coming up and the girl will be like, "Oh, hi," and she will like obviously known to the stewards and the guy that she's with, kind of like,
what the fuck?
Aye, because I've seen it
never
before.
a good thing, right?
Aye.
So if I get like, see if you're going to be a bird and she knows the doorman and she's walking through the full club hugging them all. Not so much they've been rattled off, but there's definitely been some shit going on there, man. Definitely.
Right.
I would say so. Would you agree with that? Would you say there's some form of
probably.
relations that you've
Aye.
got?
So the other one I got asked was the drug scene in the clubs. So it was kind of a two-parter. Is the drug scene in the clubs a big thing? And
when's the last time you done it?
No, just thing with.
Okay. Sorry, boss.
Aye, you're saying with now. So the drug scene situation, is it a big thing? And do bouncers sell it?
No, I'm not seeing much selling going on, but like
you probably get some that do, but
Yeah.
that's probably just an incidental thing. But it's no a thing like the bouncers sell gear. I don't think that's a thing that happens that much.
Aye.
It is a big thing in clubs, and there's not very many clubs that you wouldn't find any of it. It's just trying to be, the club has to be responsible to make sure that there are no given opportunities for it to happen.
Yeah.
making that an easy one, because you don't search people coming in. I mean, that's not a thing.
Aye.
So it's kind of hard to kind of.
And even there's been odd times with clubs, they've tried to do like search policies and stuff like that, and but you're not really looking for drugs. It's more weapons and stuff.
My thing about it, I always think it depends on the music the venue plays.
Aye.
So if it's like rave music, there's more chance.
Not so much like rave, but you get these like trancey electro pop places and all that, and like rock, like that place across the road for Mosquito. They were into that rock stuff. I'd imagine they would add more encounters with people other than like somewhere that was like a restaurant / pub. You get it everywhere.
Aye.
It's fucking rife. I'm sick of it.
So one of their questions was, why are bouncers knob ends when you get to the door? And you have kind of technically kind of covered that. You're not a knob end until they're a knob end, basically, in a sense.
Aye. And I think like if I've been dealing with somebody who's been an absolute dick and just give me absolute dog's abuse, and it's been back and forth, and eventually punked off, I can then turn it off and turn to the next couple or the next group and be like, "Hi guys, what have you been tonight?" And then it's up to them to then go, "Oh, what's that got to do with you?" Or, "Oh, I was just down in such and such." And then
people used to always ask me, why does it always matter where you've been? And going, well, it's like a two-part question. It's one, to see where you have been, know what I mean? And two, just to see how you respond to the question.
Well, we could really ask any question. It's what do you
how
say
you
and
respond
how,
to the question.
You know, I mean, if it's what's going to do with you,
I used to get out of time.
Probably a prick now.
Like, where have you been tonight? None of your fucking business. Going, how do you think you getting in? No.
So I don't know. Definitely is bouncers that are knob ends.
But that's what I've said. See, when they get to that point, they've probably been in it for years, and that's when they should kind of walk away. I think you said that you get fed up. And probably people that worked with you are punters probably noticed you getting fed up, less tolerant. Know what I mean? Less of that
definitely.
Because you have to have a wee act. Know what I mean? Like, hi guys, how you doing? Where you don't really give a fuck. Know what I mean? But you're still trying to play. Did I say that? I was like you've got the wee clickers clicking people in it, going, I said hi and bye to about fucking 2,000 people today. You know what I mean? It's a hard thing to keep going and having that same. I hope you're having a good day. Enjoy the rest of the night. It's hard work.
Do you think the police help you enough? That's a tough question, but
they can. So I remember one incident sticks right in my mind. There's a couple, but one in particular, where a guy got knocked back and he stood and he called us all sorts of names under the sun. He called can I just say whatever I like? He was calling me a cunt. He's called me this. He's a prick. Going through the whole repertoire. I like so that just means I like
fucking long words.
Collection of words that he used, right? And so the two police came stopping by, and I says, "You're going to move him on." And one of the police women was like, "Well, that's kind of your job, is to just like take abuse." You know what I mean? She didn't say that in so many words. But what she said, it's part of the job, and he's standing in a public street, so we just have to. There's nothing we can do. And I thought, so one of the other cops had tried to get him to go away, and then so he shuffled down a wee bit while the police were there. But then as the police backed off and went across the road, he came back, and this was his mistake because he then called me a poof. And I said, officer, this man's called me a poof. And she's like, we don't have to take that kind of abuse. And because it was then a sort of homophobic remark, you then get arrested. You get immediately arrested and taken away. But he stood for 10 minutes and called me all sorts.
Whereas they could easily lift him for a breach.
They could have threatened
that's
it.
the whole point of the Section 38 is really for police to kind of use at their disclosure, like
Aye,
discretion
that's
to go, right, well, if you're creating a nuisance in a public area, I mean, the place could be empty, but all it takes is just for one person to go, I'm not happy with this. Like, that's you get Section 38. Whereas you only get, that's a Scots law. You don't get a Section 38 in England. So you need to actually have a fucking reason.
But it's all it was, and it was wild, and he only had to say it once, and then her, it wasn't even that. Like, her whole attitude totally changed with, oh no, you don't have to put up with that kind of stuff. And I don't know if she thought maybe I was gay, that's why it annoyed me, but I also knew it would work, because there's instances like that have happened before. I just remember once another guy actually punched me, and while me and my pal were restraining him, a steward, he was Indian, and so he was calling him a AKI. And she was, that was spells, no. And he gets, so the post wearing that board that I get punched, but because he was racist to him, he get lifted. And I thought, but that's a name, and I actually got assaulted.
Physically assaulted,
Like, how's a name, no matter how bad the name is, worse than an actual punch?
As if they think it's part of your
job
description. But when you apply to, or you get training for it, you don't get trained how to defend. You don't get any. You get like the stupid little fucking hand tuck crap, but you don't get taught anything. You're literally just more health and safety.
We've got time for me to tell a funny
story.
Quick
one,
right, so when they introduced a wee bit more of these sort of like physical intervention training and all that, so we went up to the offices and get the training one day, and then the guy's like, how do you get somebody to let go of something? And I thought, eye gouge. And he's like, what? And I says, well, if you hold on something I don't want you to hold on, if I try and peel your fingers away, it's going to take me ages. I stick a finger in you and you'll let it go straight away. And he's like, so I went through the training and all that, and then so we were talking about times that we worked the mosquito and stuff, right? And then cut to a few weeks later, my pal Jim that got me into the stewarding, right? So he was working somewhere else, and he was going for the training, had to be the same guy, and he was like, he was introducing the training about the getting folk to let go of stuff. And he's like, so if the guy's a mosquito, and he used me as an example, not knowing that was my pal Jim. So he's like, so if the guy's a mosquito or trying to get somebody to let go, how do you think they're going to do it? And he went, eye gouge. And he was just like, what's happening?
Because like the difference between even Glasgow and Edinburgh is Edinburgh can't touch anybody. It's a total different law from Glasgow to Edinburgh. So in Edinburgh, you can't actually physically touch somebody. So even removing them, you have to have a reason for them to be ejected, as in like they've committed a crime. Whereas realistically, if you go down and go, nah, you're not in here anymore, and they refuse to leave a licensed premises, then it's fair game, bam, grab, out you go. You can't do that in Edinburgh. The law is, Glasgow's got its own little fucking bubble of.
It's a weird one, because you learn something every day. So we've got just the quick fire, the 5. What's your favourite sex position?
Oh.
Go on, quick fire. You need to just
missionary.
Right, what's your death row meal?
Steak and chips.
That's like the fourth person.
What would be your dessert?
Knickerbocker glory.
Starter.
Fucking, who's a bit into that?
You need to go to Mini Grill and get their sort of duck. The ducks that I want to know, the duck wonton kind of things, like a wee crispy parcel ducks.
Had over in Hingway,
you get that at a Mini Grill.
I had vegetable spring rolls with sweet chilli sauce in Greece. It was like a thing over there. I thought spring rolls were today with like China and stuff, but it's a Greek thing. It's banging. Anyway, that's.
Aye, Craig, we enjoyed your Greek. We'll go into your story. We'll talk about your honeymoon in the next podcast.
Wasn't it a honeymoon? Fucking Wayne's were there.
Wayne's were there, that's true. Do you prefer morning or nighttime sex?
Nighttime.
Same.
What's your reason for that though?
I don't know. I probably just it's a bit more romantic. The lighting's better.
Lights are off. It's dark outside.
Lights are off.
They can't see me coming. That's right. They don't know where I am.
What would you rather do? Would you rather get a mortgage or rent?
Well, we just sold our house and we've got our offer accepted, so I'd rather get a mortgage. Thanks very much.
There you go. That's well done. He's getting a house. And then the last one, we've already kind of discussed at the start, but we've not asked you the question, you've not answered it. If you could punch one animal, what would it be? And your reason?
I don't like taking liberties, so I definitely have to punch something that could take it. So
I'm not taking a liberty with an animal. I want to make sure.
I'm not
punching chickens
a guinea pig or something. You know what I mean? I'm going to definitely punch a gorilla.
A gorilla?
I go for it.
At the Royal Rumble, you look like a big shade gorilla, didn't you?
Go big, I go home. You know what I mean?
Says go back home. One day it comes up. You want to punch me? Aye. Planet of the Apes take her. I heard you want to punch me.
Who are you talking to?
Aye, so it's been a great podcast.
Aye.
So there's a lot more stories, a lot more different. Would you come back on again?
I think it would. It was good.
Aye.
I was really nervous at first, but
Everybody is. I was
Aye.
mad on man's. He was generally sweating buckets this first
Because
podcast.
you just don't know what you're going to say.
I know.
I've always, like, even now, like, I'll walk away with it, like, 10 minutes going, what the fuck did we even say?
And actually, he said this, Craig. He said
I even
that.
watched
Terrible.
them. See, when I watched them back, I'm actually watching it as if don't have a fucking clue what's going on.
Aye, that's it.
I
'cause you
don't
do, you
remember
forget.
anything.
So I've enjoyed it.
Aye,
I've
it's
enjoyed
been
the
good.
stories, and obviously there's plenty more. But
Aye, it
we've
does,
only got
definitely.
a thing, so if you came back on again, we'd have you back on and speak a bit more. So you stop interrupting him. That was terrible today.
You've got a
Yeah,
fucking
interrupting
cheeky
him.
cunt.
Not as bad as you. But thanks very much for joining us, guy, and make sure you subscribe to the Let's Have It YouTube and sign up to our socials. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.